I mean, it really just depends on the area. It is definitely, without a doubt, depending on what's going on in that particular area. You know, in the South, like what happened in Charleston, it's very race-oriented. You know, in Arizona, it was gang violence and drug-oriented. In Chicago, it's very gang violent-oriented. You mean crime in general? No, I have not. Never been one of those things I really debated very often, Jenkins. Now, I've definitely debated, you know, gun laws quite a bit because I'm a southerner, as we would say, so from the southeast of America, and I love my guns. So, of course, I want to be able to have intelligent conversation with those that want to take them away from me. Or feel that they should be, not necessarily want to do it themselves, because no one physically could. Got him. Loot! Oh man, something's bugged. That's very, very true. Let me reload real quick, guys. Got a weird bug that's not letting me loot things. This community is the opposite of Twitch cancer. I like it here. I think I'll stay. Oh, thanks, Realms. I appreciate it, man. Well, no, that's very, very true, Jenkins. Absolutely. That's why I was using Chicago as an example. Well, that's the biggest case in point for a lot of people who are proponents for having guns as opposed to not having them, is because at the end of the day, a criminal, the definition of a criminal is those who do not obey the law. So if you make it to where guns are illegal, guess what? Criminals will still have guns and use them in violent crime. In a place like America, where guns have been prevalent for hundreds and hundreds of years, and it's kind of an everyday thing. I'm not saying it wouldn't do any good. Look, I am a gun owner. I love having guns, and I still think stricter gun laws are really needed. Just not to the point of outright banning. I think that's just not going to happen. Oh, really, Footless? I don't know about that. Boom. There we go. So that other one's locked. The biggest thing is, Jenkins, people let emotion get into it too much, and they try to make it a... yes, it is written into the Bill of Rights in America. You have the right to own them, blah, blah, blah. They try to make it more of a, well, my ancestors had them, and my family's had them for this long, so I should keep having them, without applying actual logic to the whole argument. They let emotion get into it, and I deserve this because of this, not necessarily, you know, this is a good idea because of this kind of deal. The lawmakers aren't exactly throwing logic in the process of making these decisions. So, I mean, I'm not one, so I can't really... I don't hold any clout. No one really wants to listen to the regular guy, so whatever. I'll wait and see what happens. He's a velvet-covered brick wall. That's a good thing. Thanks, Footless. I appreciate it. I have my own pistol, which I could carry on my person at times for protection, but I still think the UK guns can't be part of it. No, I understand completely, Jenkins. I agree with you. Absolutely. And Realms, I agree with you too. Very much so. Dat Wild Hunt Art. You know it, Fantasy. I don't think that's fucked up at all, Jenkins. I am a gun owner, and I'm very for stricter gun control laws. I will never be for the outright banning of firearms in America, because it's just not going to happen. I dare you as an individual to come to my home and try to take mine from me, because that'll end very badly for you. But I do think more control is necessary.
Like we're threatening people on Twitch.
I'm not threatening anyone. I'm just
Not anyone in particular, but...
Yes, darling. You are right.
Let's try them.
Alright, let's see how this mirror goes. How can I adjust it? Alright, so that's good. It goes between those two. How does this need to be set up, I wonder? I guess that's right. It's bouncing between these two. Now I've explored everything and found all the loot. My wife is a fantastic individual, Footless. I love this lady. I feel threatened by Thanto. You should be threatened, Fantasy, because you haven't made me food. Must have Brazilian food.
That's true.
See? Well, even Wifey agrees with me. Remember, I'm a dudette. I actually didn't know that for this. Either way. I just run the same thing. And even being a dudette, I'll still probably refer to you as dude from time to time because nothing saying you can't be a dude. I'm all about equality here. Everybody can be dudes. Our queen is an admiral in Nebraska. I don't even know what that means, but it's a point. Beautiful, Jenkins. I love it. Okay, I guess that does that.
This is ridiculous.
Yes, I did, Fantasy, and I dislike you for it. I don't care. It's cool. Everyone in my channel is too busy touching each other's butts to have incredible discussions like this. Well, I'm all about having good discussion. I'm actually a really big fan of it. Alright, so it's reflecting off of that one to that one. There's nothing wrong with, you know, acting like adults and having intelligible conversation. I'm all for it. I love debate. I love to talk. Ask my wife. I talk a lot. That's why she says I make a good instructor, because I love to run my mouth.
Good streamer.
And good streamer. She thinks I'm a good streamer. You hear that, guys? My wife thinks I'm good, so that's all that's important, right? It's like, my mom thinks I'm the most special kid in the world. My wife thinks I'm a good streamer. Therefore, I must be okay, at least. Ow. Screw you, Ghost. That Ghost is wearing Wild Hunt armor. This is very different. Ow. Haha, he's dead. Them dots, though. Nice. Alright, I did it right. Beautiful. Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, by the grace of God in the United Kingdom and the Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and her other realms and territories, Queen, Head of the Commonwealth, Defender of the Faith. I want to touch butts. Oh my god, Fantasy. Therefore, that's what I mean. Not only is the camaraderie in this community practically palpable, but it's also an intellectual environment. Love it, man. Well, thank you, Realms. I really appreciate it, buddy. My god, too bad you don't have a mirror, Thant. Oh, saying you missed the stuff behind you when you said that. Will you... Wifey. I'm gonna go back and look at the footage. Let's see, how long have I been streaming? 2 hours and 9 minutes. I'm gonna put that in Slack so I remember. Hold on, everybody. Let me go and see what Wifey did behind my back, because I don't know. 2 hours, 9 minutes. Boom. Think I'm playing. I'm gonna go back and look. Fantasy is a poopy head. The wifey's always right. That's true, Fantasy. That's very true. Yeah, Realms, I don't know if you noticed, but we have emotes in here. If you're not running the Better Twitch TV add-on for your browser, you so are wrong and need to fix that shit. But we have our own emotes now, thanks to Better Twitch TV and Night Dev and all those wonderful people. So please feel free to use them. Thanks, Jenkins, for whispering me that I smell. I appreciate that. You're a good man. Haha, wifey busted.
Thanks, guys. Jeez.
The Thanta wifey is always right. No, I'm not arguing the fact that she's not always right. She's my wife. Of course she's right.
At last.
Hand it over and let's get out of here.
Not so fast. We've a matter to discuss.
Let me guess. You gotta fly. You're about to tell me why you need the Sunstone so much more than we do.
It's a capital W, that's why.
Now,
Okay.
whoosh.
No idea we got such a ridiculous notion. Ciri's safety is most important to me now. But I wish to talk to you about the future. My future.
I recommend the Alpine Air of Nazir.
You'll like Nilfgaard, no two ways about it. I recommend the fresh Alpine air of Nazaire.
And Yennefer claims you have no sense of humor. Now listen carefully.
Thanks,
Once
Jenkins.
we've defeated the Hunt and Ciri is safe, Yennefer's meteoric rise at the Imperial Court will come to an abrupt end. Which is wonderful from my perspective. I'm not interested in reviving the Lodge if I'm not to have the deciding vote.
You're telling me this because...
If I know even one bit, I expect that once we've defeated the Wild Hunt, you aim to slip out the back door with Ciri. To disappear into the wilds, correct? All very romantic. But perhaps instead of destroying the girl's life, you could take Yennefer with you and go.
You want to take Yen's place at Amir's side.
And it's Ciri's. I think you understand it's inevitable, and I would truly prefer Yennefer to be far away when it happens. Holding her in the Imperial dungeon would be costly, and it would give the wrong impression.
Well, Mike, Geralt for some reason has a thing for sorceresses, and all sorcerers have a thing for vanity. They love to, even though all of them, like all of the main sorceresses, like Yennefer, Philippa, Triss, and all them are like 200 plus years old, they look like they're 20 because of magic. And they like to have their boobs popping out because boobs. And they have youthful appearances and nice boobs because of magic. So they just kind of flaunt it because they have it because of magic. That's kind of their thing. That's only like really northern sorceresses. See, in the south, where Nilfgaard, like the actual realm of Nilfgaard, is not the Empire in general, they don't let sorcerers do their thing quite as willy-nilly as the northern kingdoms do. So they don't all look like unbelievably beautiful women with a nice rack and low-cut blouses. They don't allow them to do that kind of deal. They keep referencing to Emir, the Emperor of Nilfgaard, to kind of keep them on a short leash, which he does. They don't allow them to use their magic except for purposes of the Empire, which excludes using it for personal vanity. So you'll notice, I mean, Fringilla Vigo is one of the ones who obviously don't adhere to that, but she was also in a conspiracy plot with a sorcerer's lodge, as they called it, that Philippa was a part of, and it's all in the books. It makes a lot of sense when you really think about it, but yeah, most sorceresses are several hundred years old and all look like they're 20 because of magical stuff. They pretty much have magical boob jobs and facelifts, to put it quickly.
Any other words of wisdom, or can we go?
You may go. I know you've things to do. I shall find my own way back.
Ah, Philippa. Yes, you do, Footless. They're so good. My God, these books are fantastic. I love them. Wifey got me, what, 3 of the 5 books for Christmas 2 years ago. Like, my God, dude, they're so good.